Alright, how's it going, everybody? Just got done with our live stream, and I wanted to show you guys what has been going on over the last two. I hooked up a sink because somebody had said that they couldn't figure out how to get it to work this morning. I wanted to make sure it was working properly. They did say they ended up getting it working, but I wanted to make sure. So now any recipes in here that actually take water, like the taffy here, I can just pop that right out. It uses the water from the sink, and I can also use a bucket to get water from it. There's a pipe underneath it that's running over to our main water line that's coming from the river. But the main thing that was done is we worked on the circuit building in the first live stream and set up the crystal processors. So helium and neon is coming in here into the canning machine, and then it will output the helium neon those things. These things, helium neon laser emitters. We need those for the crystal processor socket. And then we need T6 circuits with it and platinum circuit boards. And so over here, we have the crystal circuit that would then get pressed with this in here, which I still need to get a chest there for the output of it. And over here is where these are being made. So we put the sapphire into here. It gets cut into the plate, and then it goes into our precision laser engraver. That engraves it and then drops it right in here. So I'm still thinking about putting in a auto crafting table that'll automatically craft this pattern for me. So then all I have to do is input the lasers and the other parts, and it'll make them, and then I can have them output into this chest as well. And we successfully made our first T6 circuits with this setup earlier, so we could make our portable Cropnalizer. That's the other thing we made. So we needed a T6 circuit there, but then we also needed alkaline batteries, so I made our first two manganese MV batteries. I made two of these, which use T6 circuits here, so I used about 7 of them today. And everything ran flawlessly. But another thing that we did, as you can see, we've got platinum wiring here now. We hooked up this. So there's another one right down, if you can see it right there. This one has all of our fine wires in it, which goes up through that pipe and into each one of their barrels. And then there is this one for platinum foil and gold foil. I need to get copper foil in there. I haven't ran any of that yet. But that is set up with a pipe running all the way from over here to this box. And as of right now, once I get the stuff here, I have to put it down into there. Same with here. But that's because I store all of my wire in there and all of my extra foils in there. I don't have a place to put them. If at some point I get a dedicated place that I want them to go, I can set up another filter that'll filter those off into somewhere else and then automatically send them over. But it's pretty easy for me to just, grab them, drop them in here, and then all that is, if we come down here, is very simply a hopper underneath the chest, ran through a pipe that runs all the way across. There's the water pipe, by the way. Underneath the kitchen, shut up, drive-through cow, and then it comes up, and there is the wire one, and there is the foil one. So it just splits it wherever it needs to be. I'm going to, at some point, rip a lot of this dirt out of here, because from like here up is still underneath my main room, as you can see, because right there's the back wall. So I still need to get that big old chunk tore out of there, but at this point I really didn't need it yet, so I haven't done so. But it is getting kind of annoying running around that to get to the ladder. I may end up putting an elevator in here at some point. And then the other thing we did, since I got my Cropnalizer made, is, you may remember a long, long ago that I was out here messing with my crops. And there was a whole bunch of boxes over here of crops. Well, I sat here and went through every bit of them, and this is what we currently have. So you'll see we've got a few of them in here that are 5.4 or 5.3. There's a 7.4. That one's kind of nice. A 6.3, a 7.2, 5.4. I'm trying to get them roughly 8-ish on at least the growth and similar for the gain. I'm not real worried about the resistance. But if I can get, like, this is 3.33, that one's just garbage. We're going to get rid of that one, because we've got a lot better now. And so I've just been working on getting these up a little bit higher, and then I take the junk ones and throw them in a box, and then just go throw them in the trash can inside. So I'm going to sit here and kind of work on these a little bit, see what else I can end up getting, and see if I can get them a little higher. And then we're going to make a dedicated field full of them once I can get enough for a whole field that are decent, and make a crop harvester for it. And that's what we're going to use to make our biomass. And we're also going to, well, I may set up potatoes for that too. I haven't decided yet. Or I may set up pumpkins again, not sure. But it all basically starts with sugarcane. I need the sugarcane for the Chad. So if you look at dynamite dust, it needs wood pulp. And there's really no way of getting wood pulp without a tree farm of some sort. And I don't want to set up a forestry tree farm just to get me wood pulp. But you can use Chad. And Chad is made by throwing, ignore these, they don't exist. Throw a piece of paper in, you get a piece of Chad. And we can make a piece of paper. Again, ignore all the wood pulp, because that's what we're trying to make. But basically we can take one sugar cane, put it in a bath, and it makes one paper with some water or distilled water. And we've got tons of distilled water. So I may even use some of that just to get rid of it. So that's what we need the sugarcane for. And we can also use sugarcane for biomass. So if we look at biomass here, let's look at this one. In the fermenter, we've got all kinds of choices that we can use, like 3,380. Half of those is, well, probably more than half of them are juices and stuff. And then you also have all the different types of water that you can use, which we also have the mineral water that we can actually get from our hot spring water. So I may even set up a heat exchanger again for the hot spring water to turn that into mineral water and then just throw it in here. Haven't decided yet, because we have that hot spring water sitting right there, but we never, well, wait a minute, that's not it. That is our natural gas. Yeah, I don't think we have a tank for the hot spring water. I think it was just coming in by pipe. But if we go back here, this is where I made those batteries for. So we now have 2 alkaline batteries and 2 lithium manganese batteries in there. I may at some point change them over. I just didn't want to make more of the alkaline batteries for this thing because I already had some. And that's the only batteries it can take is the alkaline. This is hooked back up now. Just ran a small titanium axle all the way across here and into the dynamo, into the battery box, and then that is outputting into the same cable that the power cell dumps into, and then that dumps right into our main over here. And so it's finally using up all that extra lava we had and making it into power. I literally did the axle thing just because I didn't want to move this entire setup, and I didn't want to move all of the redstone for it, because that is a big pain in the butt trying to move that. So I chose to just make an axle. And it works. It works great. There's no loss on axles whatsoever. And that's what we've been up to. So I'm going to start working on getting this stainless turned into another distillation tower, so we can get that running for the biomass, so we can make glycerol, and that way we can start making dynamite dust, and we can start blowing things up. Because if we run that through a, well, where is the distillation tower? I know there's one here somewhere, daggone it. For a minute, oh, that does not look like a distillation tower. So that'll give us our glycerol, a little bit of ethanol, distilled water, and methane gas. This distilled water will go right back in to making more biomass. And then we can mix that with sulfuric acid, nitric acid, and make our glycerol and sulfur dioxide, which will go right back into making more sulfuric acid. And then we can mix that with the Chad, make our dynamite dust, and then we can turn that into dynamite. And that'll give us Fortune 5 on our ores instead of the Fortune 2 that we're currently getting with our drill. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions about what we've been doing, let me know. or go back and check out the 2 live streams, I'll put a little thing up here in the corner for you. And I'll see you guys next time.